All right, aloha again. Mahalo for joining our orientation for fall 2025. I was going to start off with this video. I don't think in streaming it was giving me some issues, but it's a brand new Kaunaloa promotional video that we created for two national conferences that I presented at this summer. I'll drop a link to our Kaunaloa website, and it has that video on there for you, and hopefully you'll be able to watch it a little better, I think, on your own computers. Um, so to kind of start us off and kind of ground us, right, in our purpose here at Kamehameha Hawaii, is to really reclaim and collectively advance the narrative of Native Hawaiians thriving. And through this, we truly hope that our students develop an Oiwi edge, which is kind of a combination of a strong ancestral foundation grounded in Ike Kupuna that really shapes their agency, their adaptability, and ability to give back to the Lahui and develop their own purpose and kuleana. And this ties directly into our Kaunaloa dual credit program, which was created to truly empower our students to advance their education, where they can earn dual credit, so high school credit, high school elective credit, as well as college credit as well. Back in 2015, when Kaunaloa was established, Kumu Lehua Vincent selected the word Kaunaloa to truly symbolize the perseverance and determination that our students will um, need to use and employ to overcome the challenges of higher education, and ultimately to uplift the Lahui. So, we truly believe here at Kaunaloa program that every Haumāna really does deserve a viable path to college. So through our program, our students are able to explore their own individualized pathways. There are set pathways that we do have through some of our partner programs, but truly students can take. And then they do have access to the full catalog to kind of explore areas, in particular areas of courses that we don't teach on ground. So it's really giving them access to courses that we wouldn't be able to provide. Accelerated learning so that they can not only earn credits for their high school diploma, but also start knocking away, hopefully, some of those Gen Ed or GE requirements for their future college degrees. A really important part of this experience for me is also learning how to learn, right? I think it's sometimes a challenging transition shifting from high school to college. So this really gives students a good glimpse, right, of what managing college coursework is like, and giving them a safe sandbox environment to try out new approaches and techniques to ensure they're successful post high. And most importantly, I think for our Ohana members is the potential cost savings that our program can provide. So, as you folks all know, Kaunaloa provides these courses to our Haumāna at no cost. We do cover all costs, including tuition, books, and fees for all of these enrollments through our partners. So, just kind of some snapshot data for you folks. So, this is actual local data from our students from their Kaunaloa program. So, we found that our students are more likely to enroll in college, to graduate from college, and just kind of a snapshot of some of our enrollment. So, last year, the academic year as a whole, we had a very high success rate that we're really proud of. 96.3% of our students passed their courses through Kaunaloa, which is the highest across all of ASU's partners that we've learned when I presented at their annual conference this past June. The 96.3% was 386 different past courses of 401. And our students last year, 119 of them actually earned combined 1,100 credits. Of our graduates from class of 2024, 97.3 of them actually enrolled in a 2 or 4 year institution. And that last percentage point actually was just one student, and she'll be enrolling in the fall. So technically, we'll be at 100%. Of the class of 2024, and we're still waiting on that class of 25 data after they start school in a few weeks. And then since the creation and establishment of our partnership with ASU, since fall 2020, we've had over 221 unique students. Combined, they have earned over 2,000 credits, and altogether, through our ASU program alone, we've saved our Ohana over $1 million, and actually counting. So this data was as of June. So we're wrapping up our summer semester, so we'll be able to tag on a couple extra $1,000 to this total. But it's amazing the amount of money and access that we've given our students and their ohana. So happy to provide this. A lot of our students hear this a lot. For me, I'm a member of the second graduating class, and I'm always like, we didn't have this, when we're here. So happy to have this opportunity and resource to our Haumāna. So for our presentation today, we'll be going over program expectations for the program overall, but also for our Kaunaloa study hall period, which is held in the Learning Center, opportunities for support and resources, and then specific partner information that might be relevant for our discussion today. So all of our information can be found on the Kaunaloa website. You can access it on my link tree. I did drop a link in the chat, and I can resend it here. I would strongly recommend bookmarking it and saving it. So I do update this link tree throughout the year, depending on where we're at. This houses not only information for Kaunaloa, but for our senior families or future senior families. We have information on senior capstone. I also manage the honors and AP program and some other items that are career related that will update and throughout the year. So depending on where we're at and what's happening, this link tree will update. We also have general links to the KS High School website, PTO Instagram, KSH Instagram main account, as well as my Instagram as well. So feel free to give me a follow. It's at KSH Studies for Instagram only. I know Uncle Sean manages our new TikTok for Kamehameha Hawaii, but we do use our Instagram account to share upcoming events, reminders, and other announcements throughout the year. And included in that as well as the Kaunaloa website. So up in the top, you'll see the different bars. So we have our homepage, a shortcut to Keala i Kapalapala Laipua, which is our signature program and partnership through Arizona State University. Quick links to registration and forms, support information, and college transcripts for our transitioning seniors. So also included online is a link to our Kaunaloa Success Pack, which includes copies of our syllabus, a semester calendar, various forms that you might need, and again, support resources and a link to our success plan template. So the syllabus can be found on Canvas as well as online. Has my contact information, information on the Kaunaloa website, our link tree, and our Instagram. It also has information on Haumāna expectations, the Kaunaloa study hall, support and resources, and the Kaunaloa peer program, as well as our grading policy. So all that information is updated online. So really, in this program, we have very high expectations for our Haumāna. A lot of this work is asynchronous, and students are studying independently in the Learning Center. So really, the expectation is our students are owning this experience and they're engaged in the experience. So we hope that our students are taking responsibility for their learning, they're maintaining progress, and completing assignments on time to ensure that they're doing well in their courses. Oftentimes, this is also the first time some students are running into speed bumps or challenges, and they have to learn how to navigate some of those items. So we empower our students to communicate and to be preventative. So using our resources on ground, their peer supports, myself, as well as their college partner instructors or support staff that we have access to. During the study hall periods, we ask that our students remain disciplined and focused. They're using their time effectively in the study hall to get their work done. And then lastly, I think this is really important for me as well, is to approach this experience with some intellectual curiosity, right? We want our students to start to develop this skill of loving to learn, right? And I think that's probably one of the most important skills or traits our students will need to develop to be successful post-high. So in the study hall period, again, our students are learning independently. Your student may have signed up for a study hall period where we replace one of their elective blocks with a study hall block. They report to the Learning Center and they must sign in on our Kaunaloa iPad to take attendance. The expectation is that our students are engaged in focused study. They're working on their dual credit coursework. If they do need to leave for whatever reason, they do need to request a securely pass to leave the Learning Center. We ask that they use all the resources that they have. They're engaging in self-reflection throughout their time at the LC, but they most importantly adhere to the conduct expectations and the guidelines for the Learning Center. In their first study hall period, I went over this with their students, but wanted to reiterate that again here. So especially with the no eating or drinking, and not necessarily mandatory seating as it says, but it is a shared space. So we do share it with other courses that might be coming in, working with Anti-Keiki or Anti-Mara. So we ask that our students respect that space if things are going on or events are going on, that they find an area so that they can study independently, and quietly without impacting others. So we have various support and resources that we've established. In 2023, I moved home to take over this Dean of Studies position. Over the years, we've improved our support resources available to our students. So something similar from my previous work life as an academic advisor, we require mandatory advising. So we meet with our students at least 3 times throughout the semester. It's basically around the halfway points of the main ASU calendar or the sessions. So students must require 3 different advising sessions per semester with me and also their peer support group. So, which I'll talk about in the next slide here. We've also provided a Kaunaloa success pack. Where I've kind of collected some really helpful information from one of my good friends who's the occupational therapist and lead academic coach at the University of Southern California. And we have that access to the students. So these are our resource documents on how to manage your time, take effective class lecture notes, study for exams, how to get good sleep, prioritization, and we've included it all in one. We've bundled it all up in a success pack for our students to access as well. In addition to that, we have multiple other resources on ground. We have our BHS specialists, our Ho'opono academic success tutoring, as well as our grade level counselors and our career liaison. So in addition to that, every single one of our partner programs also have dedicated supports at no additional cost for our students. So if they're running into any school-specific issues or class-specific issues, they have supports through their schools as well. So last year, we established the Kaunaloa Peer Program, where within each study hall period, we've set and assigned mixed level groups. So we pair the returning students with our new students to build a supportive network to help all of us to kind of navigate their courses and build Pilina. It gives our returning students and our seniors opportunity for leadership and mentorship as well. So we follow a similar check and connect model in small groups during our mandatory advising check-ins, where we're checking in on progress and grades of each of the students. And I approach it as a all love, no judgment situation where if students are behind, fine, totally fine. Just let's figure it out together and how we can get you back on track. So oftentimes in our peer groups, we find that students are even friends, best friends are enrolled in the same courses and they're struggling with maybe that particular assignment or module, and they're able to work together, kind of talk stories and see what worked. In our groups, we also have students who completed the course already and students who are in it, and they're able to provide some feedback and suggestions on how they can be successful. We also share information of students who are enrolled all in the same courses. So ASU has allowed us to create course study groups as well, so that students can also talk stories and exchange kind of best practices of how to navigate courses together. So we try to, as much as possible, mirror some things that they might run into college, right? So, one, studying independently and using effective use of that gaps in times. But two, a lot of schools, post-high institutions have what they call discussion sections, right? Where students are going to have to work with peers, talking about particular modules or engaging with a TA of sorts to talk about the content of the course. So this kind of mirrors some of that, where students are going to have to get a little uncomfortable sometimes and create conversation with people they might not know to work together. Grading policy. So this is really important for us. ASU, our main partner, allows us to track not only progress but grade, the current grade of the course. So, about midway of the ASU session, I will be sending out at-risk notifications to students who are either behind in pace or not passing their course. So, if that's the case, students will be kind of pulled in and they'll be asked to create a Kaunaloa success plan, kind of outlining the factors that kind of led them up into certain circumstances and clear action points on what they're going to do and how we can support them to get back on track. Final grades, including all failures, will appear in the KS transcript. Also written in the student and parent agreement that you folks signed, as well as the policies in the course syllabus online, is that students in Ohana are financially responsible for any courses that are not passed. Another piece that I'll add as well is that for all of our senior students who are considering or looking at the honors diploma, all grades, including dual credit in the seventh semester, so this semester, fall 2025, for a class of 2026 students are included in honors diploma. So they do need to get a GPA point, I believe, of 2.7 or higher, which at Kaunaloa is a B minus or higher. So if there's any Kaunaloa courses that fall under that grade, that means it will take a student out of consideration for honors diploma. So that's important for our seniors to consider as well. So, Kaunaloa probation. So, Kaunaloa probation is kind of triggered when a student is failing or withdrawing from a course. So, basically, our students will enter Kaunaloa probation. This only affects their status in the program. This is not equivalent or attached to KS academic probation or conduct probation, which impacts participation in athletics, student life events, and other things. So, if a student does fall within probation, they're allowed to petition to return. Students must submit a root cause analysis and plans for improvement that is reviewed by myself and our po'o Kumu Lehua Vincent, and to be reviewed. So, if a student is reinstated and accepted back into the program, they may retake the failed course with the new grade replacing the old one on the KS transcript. However, policies for course transcripts for college course repeats will vary by partner. Hopefully, we won't run into this situation over the last couple of years, especially last year. We've had great success with our students, so hopefully, thankfully, didn't have to use this that much. So grade and transcript access. So this is very different because this does involve college coursework. So FERPA is a federal educational records law, which basically says once a student enrolls in a post-high institution, regardless of age, their record is then protected. So essentially, Kaunaloa program does adhere to any FERPA regulations. So we do recommend that students do grant guest access for parents to view educational records. There is information on the Kaunaloa website to access or to request FERPA access as well. For our college transcripts at the end of the senior year, after our students graduate, I will be ordering all ASU transcripts for our Haumāna, and credits are typically transferred for grade C or higher for most schools. So we have a couple of main partners. This is a page kind of summarizing our three main partners. So we have Arizona State University, where students are taking online asynchronous courses, Hawaii Pacific University, where students are enrolled in certain KS courses on ground that have been approved for dual credit. And then we also have external Kaunaloa partners like University of Hawaii Hilo or Hawaii Community College, where we help students direct enroll in those institutions. ASU, as I mentioned earlier at the top of our meeting, is our signature partner program. So, Kaunaloa ASU last year was rebranded to Keali Kapalapala Laipua. Beautiful name, named by Kumulehua Vincent. Essentially stands for Pathway to Bachelor's. So, currently we do have 4 academy pathways. We worked with ASU this year to expand it to 4 additional, so 8 total. We're adding construction, engineering, and a few others, indigenous studies, and we're retweaking the visual performing arts to interdisciplinary arts. So students from all different career paths can earn dual credit to work towards a potential bachelor's degree from Arizona State University. The latest news, hot off the press, is that are these 8 pathways now also fulfill the associate's degree requirements for Arizona State University. So if our students work up towards the 60 credit pathway, they can actually earn up to 2 years of college and will also earn a 2 year associate's degree from Arizona State University. So we're really excited about that. Official announcement forthcoming later this quarter once we finalize some of the marketing materials. But happy to share that with you all today. So, for some of our juniors and seniors, the full 60 credit pathways might be a little out of reach. But there's ways that we can work together to figure out what courses that we might want to take. For our younger students, this is the perfect time to consider maybe working towards the full pathway. We can have discussions later this semester during study hall periods or during kokoa or ho'ola to plan out what that might look like for you folks over the next couple of years. Just a reminder, and our students know this as well. I personally manage all course enrollment, so please do not enroll yourself or disenroll yourself from any of the ASU courses. For more information about Keali Kapalapala Laipua, please check out our Kaunaloa website below, and we'll be coming out with a new announcement with the new pathways and the associate degree option for our students later this quarter. A new requirement for all of our new Kaunaloa students who are in this call as well is OGL 194 Online Learning Success for Universal Learner courses. So this is a 1 unit credit course, credit no credit, for our Haumāna. This is the new requirement for all new ASU students. It's only 1 credit because it's really brief. It's only meant to be about 2 to 3 weeks long. In short, this prepares our students for online success. It covers topics such as time management, goal setting, online learning strategies, wellness, academic integrity, and digital responsibility. So some of our students already who are on the call already finished it. Excellent. And we'll be getting some feedback from the students about this experience. This is a very new course, but ASU designed it and released it this past year with the intention of it being kind of an introductory level for all students taking ULC courses so that they can be successful. For those who have kind of explored our Kaunaloa Canvas course, this mirrors very closely what's in Module 4. Eventually, we'll sunset Module 4 now that we have this online learning success course for our Haumāna. But yes, this is a new requirement. Really excited to hear more feedback from our Haumāna who completed the course. For our HPU partners, I think most of our families today are with ASU, but in short, we have a few courses on ground that have been approved by HPU to count as dual credit. Right now, we offer criminal justice for a full year with Dr. Yoakum, and Kumu Alohi also teaches some of our theater courses in theater performance and advanced theater performance. So if you are interested in these options later on, you can talk to these Kumu for more information. But essentially, all you have to do is take the course. There's no additional work that you need to do. You just complete it as is. Probably the easiest method at KSH to earn college credit is through one of these options. And then lastly, we have our external Kaunaloa partners through UH Hilo, UH Hawaii CC, or Honolulu CC. Enrollment can vary, deadlines can vary. I think we have a few, one or two, maybe not in here, but if this is an option, please let me know. We do need to be a little bit more planful with some of these options because we have to adhere to the deadlines and expectations. Oftentimes, with external Kaunaloa partners, there's another application process that we have to complete as well. So, if this is something that's in the plan for future semesters, please let us know. My last slide really is something that I presented at 2 national conferences this summer. And in summarizing our program, we came out with kind of 3 P's to success. I think we'll start at the foundation, which is the preparation, right? This program, Kaunaloa program, is to prepare our students to be successful post-high. But the expectation is both our Haumāna and our Hana, right, are coming into this experience prepared. Oftentimes, I think our students who don't do well are have different expectations of the rigor or the expectations of time management or prioritization in this Kaunaloa program or Kaunaloa study hall. That's often where we kind of run into challenges of students managing multiple priorities. So we ask that our students be prepared for this challenge. We know they can do it. We've done a thorough research on their application. The reason they were accepted is because we felt that they could do very well and be successful in this program. But part of that preparation is building Pilina, right? So build Pilina with myself, Dean of Studies, the support resource that we have on campus, our grade level counselors, but also the peers. I think the reason that we were so successful over the last 2 years is that our students were able to build relationships with our returning students and other peers in their study hall period, where they were able to build their own network, their own success and support with new friends. In their study hall periods, exchanging best practices. I think I've learned that sometimes I can only say certain things so many times, and sometimes the message just hits harder or is clear when it's coming from a peer. So we found great success with our peer program. So we hope that our students are continue to build their pilina, their relationship building skills, because that will also prepare them to be successful post high. And then lastly is purpose. I think for some of our younger students, we're still trying to figure it out, right? I think for some of our older returning students, they have a clear end in mind. They have their North Star, the top of the Haumāna that they're climbing to. And we hope that through this experience, our students are intentionally selecting courses to get them where they need to be post high. I think when we first rolled out this program, before we had the specific pathways, with the full access to the catalog, we truly were concerned that students were just kind of like willy-nilly picking courses. But now with the clear pathways, the ASU Career Foundation certificates, which are smaller version of those pathways, it gives students a direct goal, a checklist of specific items that they should hit, specific courses that they should complete if this is what they want to do post-high. So I ask that you folks as an ohana are working together to help your Haumāna find their purpose, not only through Kaunaloa but through their experience at Kamehameha schools, Kula Ki'e, that you folks work together to ensure that you're using all of the resources, all of the opportunities, all the awesome programming and courses that we have available to you folks. And with that, I will also shout out to my link tree as well. And one thing that I do want to show or share with the Ohana members is that we are actively recruiting mentors for our senior capstone projects, where our seniors are engaging in their own personalized community impact project with specific seminar kumu. Some of them are still figuring out and finalizing what their topic or project might be, but the expectation is that they are using a community mentor to help guide their project design and implementation as they're sharing and doing all of this good work. So if you are interested in being a mentor or simply and just a community evaluator that will come in December at our senior expo event, to help evaluate some of these projects after they're completed, we would love your kokua. So please check out the link tree. If you're interested in getting involved with Senior Capstone, you can find the Mentor Evaluator sheet up here. One thing, and the seniors know this as well, is that one of the stipulations is that a Senior Capstone mentor cannot be your direct family member. So if your child or your Haumāna has a friend who's a senior, we're totally okay with that. We want them to start building their professional network. So kind of a shameless shout out for one of the other many hats I wear here on campus. But did want to kind of close here on time for questions. I have one question in the chat. Can you show us on the website that shows us what courses are transferable from ASU to other colleges? Okay, so that's an excellent question. So, basically, the way course transfer works, it depends on the school. right? So ASU does not have a repository of things that transfer out. They have things that transfer in. So as part of the application process, your students were asked to list their kind of top three schools or schools that they're considering. And when they were typing, or including the courses that they might want to plan for the year, they also had to check for transferability to those different courses. So ultimately, long answer short is it depends, but we're working with your students to ensure that they're going into this process knowing that these courses will or won't transfer. I've had some discussions with seniors of certain schools of like, I came from USC, as I mentioned, very, very picky school, very, very protective of their degrees. So some courses transfer, some courses don't. And I have a senior who's looking at USC. We found out that the specific course she was planning for may not transfer, but we also found that the other schools that she was looking at, her second and third option, would take that course. So we had a really good discussion. Do you still want to take it, even though USC's first choice? But she said yes, because I still think it's really good content and it might transfer to my other schools. So if you're curious about that, your student filled out a Kaunaloa match and fit document as part of the application. That's something that I'll be working with our students in our peer groups later today to kind of update after they've enrolled. Another great question. These dual credit courses are not weighted. So this is a 4.0 on a 4.0 scale. Only the advanced placement courses are weighted to a 5.0, and our honors courses are weighted at a 4.5. Yeah. If you have any other questions, feel free to drop them in the chat or feel free to unmute yourself as well. And actually, I will stop the recording.